One of my earliest memories, I was maybe 5 or 7, is of a drawing I made with greasy crayons of a one-eyed woman pieced together, a Gaudi mosaic of deep red and green, bold black grouting. My father titled it Savan, Monsoon. My parents were delighted. The image of it and my perception of them is burned into my mind. When I recall into my mind's eye the image now, I see the one-eyed woman is wistful. Places are fragments, cardinal points across temporalities. Places are memories of place. I was born in a city by a bay. I grew up in another one. This one I hope to die in. La cercanía del mar. The nearness of the sea sculpts the city with its tendrils of brackish bottle green and grey, black slime. Once healthy creeks, now putrid pestilence, yet home to waterbirds migratory or native, garbage, plastic bag, mangrove. Boats. Indigenous fisher villages against all odds of corporates, politics, and neoliberal middle class sensibilities. The sliver of effluence that divides this part of the new city is actually a rivulet. It breathes with the tide, swelling and subsiding under a bridge of delicate iron and patchy concrete of strange architectural beauty. Languid, mottled brown dogs lounge on exposed rocks of the Deccan volcanics. In the distance, dusty blue hills along the Panvel flexure, a regional tectonic structure. In the heat of early summer, Telonyx regia, gulmohar trees are aflame. It is hot, not as white hot as my gut punched by your absence. A place of unexpected wilderness you will definitely miss, unless your mother, who knows how to see and where to look, points it to you. A local leader has taken the initiative to use the place and managed to create a magical hidden garden by planting vines upon vines of jasmine along the creek. Was this his gentle little joke, his juxtaposition of scent and stench? Does the proximity of touch you more than touch? Does the absence of touch you more than touch? The distance of it? The nearness of it? The nearness of a distant sea. The nearness in memory of a beach on a pink-purple twilight of music, its history. You perceive the violet turn ultraviolet. The hairs on your skin are sunflowers grasping at the nearness of warmth. The recipe for this evening will feature echoes of rain in the hours before dawn with you and me in them. Music is place, it is the city, it is the nearness of you. Years later, the distance closes in. I cannot listen to music now. The records that I have worn out are burnt into my skin. Contacto sin tacto. With touch, without touch, touchless contact, tactless touch. Places are discourses. What would a map of all the places that sting to visit be like? A map where territories fight to stay and vie to be erased because they're also the places you love the most and so you shared them with lovers. Tell me about your map. I want to hear. Some places the silence is deafening, emptiness a gaping canyon, so you counter it by thinking. Other places are so loud you can't hear yourself think. Your body thinks for you. The hole at the center of me is a white hot abyss at midday in a slow train to CST through the city's backbone. Place is a function of connection, fragments. A police guard on a midnight local train, proud to tell me how his daughter wears jeans, goes to college, and can be exactly what she wants to be. His building people don't really approve of him, but he's a policeman, so there. The little girl on the bus, tiffin box in hand, I give her my seat. I swear I had a premonition before I got on the bus that she'd offer me biscuits, and she does. The woman on the other bus wondering what exactly I was taking pictures of. I said, "Look at these pretty white spider lilies on the dividers." She never noticed, she says. She has a son to pick up, but she gives me her approval for my ritual. A buzzed electrician at 2 a.m. who works for the municipal corporation heading home from the bar. He's happy to see me taking pictures. It is good to indulge one's passions, he says. He's a good photographer, he says, and takes really good pictures of me, miles better than my selfies. I compliment him. "Where do you live?" he asks. "Oh, just round the corner. I'm a stranger to this city." "It was lovely talking to you," I say with a smile. He graciously lets me be. Sometimes when you don't want to be in a place, you lose touch while being in it. You create a mirage over the desert of the real. Other times, places don't want you in them. They keep you out of their gated cliques. Nowhere to be, nowhere to go, nobody to pin you down on a wild patch of grass. You just don't exist in the place's black box indifference. If you don't exist, can you touch? And when you reach out fingers into the isolation because you don't understand, who will hear you? You are the uncanny valley of the real. You reach out to shimmering haze, strange light reflected off opacity of canyon walls, tall verticals, unreachable heights, crumbs of condescension drift down. What is it that moves through space? Discourse. What is it that creates place? History. What touches you? Memory. Who are you? The other. With a big O or a small O? That'll be with a 0. I am the abyss. The mirror on my phone is cool glass. I caress it, throw it aside, put it to my cheek, forget it on the hot park bench, rush back to retrieve it in the terror of losing touch. Communities make for poor consumers. They share place and space, time and things, you see. Pathologized individuality turns to retail therapy. Me-first corporate cultures condition individuals to compete, indulge self-interest hierarchies and control, alienated from bodies and non-places, fingers set to scroll. Metaverses are meta-malls. The promise of touch, be touched with uncanny gloves, simulated haptic space, illusions of unconditional love. Artificial scarcity, constant consumption, instant gratification. You use and discard me, say you're indifferent to my existence. You get off to power and capital, trading love for resistance. The effect of mere touch on perceived ownership. New dimensions of untouched senses to monetize. Web3 creeps advertising up your skin. Do you realize? Use cases standardize look and feel. But whose bodies and touch prioritized, normalized? Ends designing means which sensations anesthetized? Profiteers steal content as data pours out of willing fingers. Alienated bodies, meta metaphors feeding surplus value, surveillance states and big data corporates will be watching you. Synthesized mirages of places hover over the desert of the real. Shall we refuse to participate? Shall we prioritize the weather? Shall we float down together on a sunbeam, on a feather? I read a piece on Ice Age art in caves in Spain and France, hands of Neanderthal children and adults in caves. Hand stencils of generations across tens of thousands of years in the same caves, time and again overlaying their forefathers to be echoed down to the Homo sapiens. The human connection across temporalities of species, the ritual of caressing stone in your ice age cave as you spray red ochre with your mouth so that your child 7 generations on down could come back home to this place to caress your own hand, to not feel so alone, to have a bit of warmth, to feel like there is a home, there is indeed meaning in place, there is a home. It will be all right. We can be children again. We can be free, free to play, to love. The rituals of connectivity, of rooting, returning home to be reminded of home and corporality were as if a slap of realization when I came face to face with Miró's work. I am shallow enough to have forgotten what Miró's piece was called, but the sensation of my synapses falling into place witnessing his work are indelible. How do you know you exist? Don't we take selfies to remind us of our existence? Don't we take them to remind us that we have moved through time, displacing ourselves into other lands for a while? If I don't see myself doing it, how will I know that I did it? Did the Neanderthals have mirrors? I suppose they could look over water's edges into reflections, but that wouldn't be too clear. When you can't see yourself and you can only see others, how do you know who is seeing? Maybe you know it's you by reaching out and touching. Maybe by leaving a mark of touch. Leaving a mark in a place you could return to remind yourself that you're alive. In the blue distance, a shifty sky, a cloudy air of humid cotton monsoon density, dark storm on the horizon. The grey of possibility. Rock songs from the 80s that would paint the desires of Newcastle upon Tyne, EMI London, and Birmingham on Bombay. Soundtracks to love and longing in a dense, slippery city tattooed into neural pathways and dry skin. In the near distance, there is a regal solid stone wall 500 years old. We reach it and reach out to it in unplanned unison. It is an instinctive ritual among so many in the nearness of the wall. Why do we do this? I say as we feel the solid stone. W responds, we feel the enormity of presence. The reassurance of permanence, the comfort of rootedness, the relevance of being near, the acceptance of the need to be near, to touch. Hope. We send tentative tendrils along scaffoldings and mossy parapet walls. The enormity of presence grounds us, the impossibility of erasure, forever, together,